Shoot! At last. I wasn't too sure about the callback, but you know, it's just hard to resist. What?
I know the Matrix term is overused, and it has been very common around people in the last few years. Many people, especially modern-days influencers, have used this term in technology, politics, economics, mathematics, conspiracy theories, and many other topics. So there are different explanations and levels to the terminology or the use of what the Matrix really is. But let's face a simple fact. The movie The Matrix, released in 1999, was one of, if not the, base inspiration to all majority of those people today. Actually, it looks like as if they forgot what the Matrix is actually about. This reminds me of the scene as Morpheus said when he met Neo. No one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. With every decade, the features of the world change, and perhaps this decade starting from, let's say, 2020 will be equivalent to an entire century, era of other times in the known studied human history.
We have only bits and pieces of information, but what we know for certain is that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
AI? You mean artificial intelligence?
Interestingly enough, we don't have a global or official zeitgeist that we can agree or rely on. Zeitgeist in German means two words combined together. Zeit means time and age. Geist means soul, ghost, or spirit. All religions and philosophies that we know came from people lived back in the Middle Ages. Even the recent famous philosophers that came later and allowed a newer and more modern philosophy to spread, such as Nietzsche, Marx, Kant, or Russell. They all didn't live to see the current age and the quick technological advancements. The exponential accelerator in development has a huge and enormous impact on the daily life mankind is experiencing today and will experience in the very near future. Perhaps the reason for that is we live in an era where technology, science, and medicine is all what matters. So we forgot about all the great benefits philosophy has and that it's necessary for the way of thinking and dealing with the complexity of life. Or maybe because this new era is actually all about money with new, advanced ways of scamming people and making money out of stupid, empty things that can add no big benefit to a valuable life. Regardless of the reason why, and any conspiracy theory that we can come up with, I believe this era needs philosophy more than ever, so we can think the right way by asking ourselves the right questions. The world and the awareness of humanity started to shift completely after the creation of the internet.
We installed the internet on our computer just a short time ago, and I haven't been able to get the kids off it ever since.
Well, when we search in the internet for philosophers who are living this age with us, we can create a list of some respectful people in that space, but they still are born 80 decades ago, if not more. Like Slavoj Žižek, Judith Butler, Cornel West, Martha Nussbaum, Charles Taylor, Donna Haraway, Jürgen Habermas. Nowadays, we talk about Web3 and Metaverse, and open source artificial intelligence. We live in day and age where a normal person will no longer experience the world that we all knew. The world has already ended. Imagine what will happen if the level of intellectuality in man stays where it is, while we witness AI having way more knowledge and power than human individuals. Old-school philosophical questions, such as questions about the consciousness of the human being and other beings, are needed more than ever in a new age philosophy form to coincide and adapt with the reality experience of our time and this futuristic era in which we live.
We're going to get to a point where we have longevity escape velocity. And it's not that far away. I think if you're diligent, you'll be able to achieve that by 2029. So right now you go through a year, use up a year of your longevity, but you get back from scientific progress right now about 4 months. But that scientific progress is on an exponential curve. It's going to speed up every year. And by 2029, if you're diligent, you'll use up a year of your longevity with the year passing, but you'll get back a full year. And past 2029, you'll get back more than a year.
So, do you think that anybody in this audience, in their current biological body, will live to be 500 years old?
Absolutely.
And who?
I mean, if you're going to be alive in 5 years, and I imagine all of you will be alive in 5 years.
No, okay. If they're alive for 5 years, they will likely live to be 500 years old.
if they're diligent, and I think the people in this audience will be diligent.
In our existence in the modern world, since we are already living the future and all stuff that we once called science fiction. Well, enough of me talking for a moment. Let's listen to Elon Musk, because when it comes to economy and technology, he is the most famous man here. Listen carefully how he talked about some modern philosophical dilemmas. He is not a philosopher, but the topics he talks about and the inventions that he works, such as expanding human civilization to other planets, or our base existence, and evolution of AI, is a living proof why we need philosophy today. Let's listen to some stuff and quotes from him.
40 years ago, we had Pong, like 2 rectangles and a dot. That was what games were. Now, 40 years later, we have photorealistic 3D simulations with millions of people playing simultaneously, and it's getting better every year. And soon we'll have virtual reality, augmented reality. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, then the games will become indistinguishable from reality. It would seem to follow that the odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions. And actually, I mean, arguably we should hope that that's true, because otherwise, if civilization stops advancing, then that may be due to some calamitous event that erases civilization. So maybe we should be hopeful that this is a simulation.
Video games developments and combining them with AI, just like any other industry, raises huge questions and put them right in the face of existence, and make us wonder about the ability to create realistic simulations.
Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe? Your clothes are different, the plugs in your arms and head are gone. Your hair has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
There is a game I recently tried to play called No Man's Sky. The gameplay and roleplay in the game is as follows. You are an astronaut who can discover and visit planets around the universe and build colonies on them. Practically the universe in the game is boundless. It has billions of planets and star systems generated at random for players to observe and explore. It is basically consisting of 256 distinct galaxies, each of which is made up of 4.2 billion regions, limited by a 32-bit integer, with each region containing between 122 and approximately 642 star systems. Isn't that marvelous? Wow. Yes. Wow. This was my reaction when I discovered that in the game. Such examples in the gaming world raises questions about our existence more than ever. Are we really living in a simulation? If so, who generated this simulation, and by what kind of tool? This is the age when we can understand Plato's cave theory and witness things that were only theories.
Just to make sure that we don't do something very foolish. I mean, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, he's sure he can control the demon. Didn't work out. Didn't work out. Didn't work out.
I guess it's funny to hear it from someone like Iron Man or Elon Musk.
If you think this AI that was released to the public is actually what they have out there, you're sadly mistaken. They've given you crumbs, samples of what they've had for over a decade. What they actually have in the back end is AI that teaches itself, right? So they don't know what the AI is teaching itself at this point. It's
creative thinking.
It's programmed to teach itself. So you don't know what it's learning in real time.
Do you think those are portraits of real people? No, they are not. Probably you have guessed that already, but back just 3 or 4 years ago, you might think they were real. Back in 2018, NVIDIA's StyleGAN AI operated through a technique called unsupervised learning, meaning it didn't require human supervision during the training process. Instead, it learned patterns and features directly from a large dataset of images. typically human faces, and was capable of generating more realistic, high-quality faces than open-source AI. Models that create pictures today. The generator creates images from random noise, while the discriminator tries to differentiate between real images and those generated by the generator. Through back-and-forth training, the generator learns to produce more realistic images to fool the discriminator. Stile again utilized a concept called latent space, where each point represents a different set of features. By manipulating this latent space, researchers could control specific attributes of the generated images, such as age, gender, or facial expressions. StyleGAN employed a technique called progressive growing, where the network starts generating low-resolution images and gradually increases the resolution over time. This helped ensure stability during training and produced higher quality results. The AI network learned the features and structures inherent in environments or objects as well, and then could generate new images based on that learned information. The key was providing diverse and comprehensive datasets to capture the variety and complexity of real-world scenes or objects. In this very moment, AI and media and art is no longer just about text and chat, and also not only it is capable of photo generating, now it is also able to hear you, copy voices and make sounds, and also create videos from a description you provide. The quality of the graphics and movement has already reached a point where it is possible to be impossible by simple comparison to get distinguished from reality.
Elon Musk is suing OpenAI and its CEO Sam Altman, saying the company is no longer following its original goal to create AI to benefit humanity and instead has opted to focus on profit.
Despite the fact that Elon gave up OpenAI earlier back in the days and wants to dominate over the domain again, but it's pretty normal for someone with his experience to ask people to slow down artificial intelligence. There are a lot of people who manage to create fake Elon and fake voices and videos of important political and public figures to scam people and do jokes. Imagine the mass use of this technology, for example, under the shadow of growing AI.
And you start getting to these, what I call local maxima, where you don't realize basically how dumb you were.
This is deepfake example of what is possible with powerful computer and editing. It took around 72 hours to create this example from scratch using extremely powerful GPU. It could improve with more computing time, but 90% people cannot tell the difference.
Hello everyone. I'm here to tell you about the Neuralink crypto token, the new cryptocurrency that will change the world forever. With this token, you have a unique opportunity to invest in the future of brain-machine interfaces. We're developing cutting-edge technology that will allow humans to communicate directly with computers using their minds. And then that's not all. We're also exploring the possibility of connecting human brains to the internet. Imagine the possibilities from remote learning to telepathy to curing diseases. By investing in the Neuralink crypto token, you'll be a part of this revolution. And the earlier you invest, the greater your potential returns will be. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it won't last long. So don't wait. Invest in the Neuralink crypto token today, and join us on our mission to enhance the human experience.
Hello guys, this is the deepfake version of Zuck. Some people say my AI version is less robotic than the real me, but I'm not okay with that. I took hours of public speaking courses, and I'm truly convinced that I'm more real than the AI version of me. Sorry guys.
This video was entirely generated by Argyle deepfake model. It allows you to generate your own videos in any language in less than 2 minutes.
Some people are losing their minds because the video below would be AI generated. I'm also a deep fake, and you should take care when you watch a video on the internet. See you soon.
Well, back to our beloved Elon on his recent achievements in our new era.
Honestly, my mind is blown. I know this was coming, but actually when you read it first thing in the morning or you see it on X, you kind of think, wow, it's really happening. So, I mean, is this good or bad?
Well, I mean, I think hopefully it's a good a good development, and obviously Elon Musk has always said he wants to develop these kind of technologies in a kind of safe and responsible way for humankind. So hopefully he's going to be true to that. I mean, also it's very early stage, and there's a huge amount of trials and an evaluation to kind of go to take place before we're kind of anywhere for this kind of being a mainstream development. But yeah, the kind of, I guess the thing that's exciting for me is kind of obviously it's helpful for people from a health perspective,
yes.
but the potential to extend these kind of technologies into mainstream kind of consumer electronics, the evolution of the smartphone is something we talk about all the time, and whether these kind of technologies can be adapted to kind of evolve, that kind of technology would be quite something.
But can it? And I'm kind of with you, right? It's immensely exciting and a massive opportunity for people that need to communicate that haven't been able so far.
Mm-hmm.
I guess who regulates it if then becomes, a consumer good like you buy
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it kind of, because it blurs both the health side and the technology side, there could be lots of different agencies involved in how this stuff evolves. I think it's an incredibly complex field. Yeah. It's going to take quite some years, I think, before we kind of see this, beyond kind of these kind of hopefully positive trials.
How do I sign up to test out your neural net program?
Well, you just put this USB-C port in your head, and and then don't worry.
I'm in.
It'll be fine.
This was real Elon, by the way, and not a deep fake. I know a lot of people are driven by the energy of fear and having concerns about the future, which again indicates that we should try to bring some kind of philosophy back to the field. But let's hear what our friend says.
And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes.
Yeah, maybe he is right. If so, then we are living an Oppenheimer movie scenario yet again.
I will happen. There is no stopping it, not because of any technological issues, but because of humanity's inability to trust the other guy. And we've all seen this. We've seen the open letter championed by serious heavyweights, and the immediate response of Sundar, the CEO of Google. His response is very open and straightforward. I cannot stop it. Why? Because if I stop and others don't, my company goes to hell. I doubt that you can make others stop. Maybe you can force Meta to stop, but then they'll do something in their lab and not tell.
Now let me ask a philosophical question that God inspired me through the Matrix movie. What is going to happen when people get more lazy and stupid, while artificial intelligence gets more knowledgeable, more smart, and more active in the field? Since technology is making us more relying on it, we don't do math so good since we invented the calculator, and we get lost alone without navigation since we have created the GPS. Imagine what will happen when we have dark unknown future with cutting-edge techno devices and chips as parts in our bodies, and meanwhile, we live in coexistence with high-tech AI. This is the definition of cyberpunk era. Cyberpunk is a subgenre of science fiction in a dystopian futuristic setting, featuring futuristic technological and scientific achievements, such as artificial intelligence and cyberware with societal decay. This question needs an answer before it's too late. Or, at least, we need to ask ourselves more of these questions and establish a new cyberpunk philosophy that can help us navigating with our questions and the questions we have to teach and learn from AI.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix.